So I wanted to tell a story. I was feeling really inspired, and usually I don't really tell, I don't really share anecdotes as quickly as I'm going to share them now, in the sense that usually something happens, I think about it, I process it, I reflect, da 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 da, and then I share. And something like just happened, and I felt inspired to share. So that's what we're doing. So around like an hour, 2 hours ago, Parker had just gone to bed, to sleep for a nap, and it's like that's like prime time. You really need to maximize nap time, and you know what I'm saying if you're a parent. So I was like, okay, like time to move, time to get started on work. Do it, like focus, hustle. Like I don't even like that word hustle. And I had already woken up at 5:30 in the morning, so I'd gotten my workout in and all that stuff. And I felt really overwhelmed, right? I felt really overwhelmed. And I was like, I don't know what to do first. I don't know what I should do. Like, oh my goodness. And I felt just like really disconnected from myself, kind of disconnected from my community. I wanted to write a newsletter, but I didn't know what I wanted to write it about and all that jazz. And then I was like, okay, I don't know if you guys have felt this way before. And then I was like, okay, fine. Like this, I need to take a step back. So then I started, I was like, I'll do like a guided visualization or a guided meditation. So I looked that up, and like none of them felt good. And I was like, you know what? Like I'm just looking for all these outside resources to give me answers that I know I already have within myself. So I just like quieted myself, which I feel like is just something really nice that we can all do for ourselves sometimes. I like quieted myself. I sat down. I took a few deep breaths. I anchored myself. I reminded myself to be present and that I'm here and I'm safe. And I was like, okay, like what feels best? Like goals aside, expectations aside, like all that stuff, like what feels best right now? Like what in my heart feels best? Where is my intuition guiding me? Which is actually my word of the year, intuition. So I asked myself that, and I said, I really just want to be helpful. I really just want to be helpful. Okay. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be helpful. And so then I went into the Nourish Boss Facebook group, my free Facebook group. You can join us if you want at bit.ly/Nourish Boss community. And I wrote, for a really long time, what I was doing is I was asking people, like, what's a limiting belief you're ready to release? And I was able to really support people. People would tell me, and, it would be a really great conversation. And so I write that question, and like crickets. And 30 minutes go by. And what I experienced momentarily, and what I feel like a lot of my clients and people in my community tell me, is that something that can feel so painful is when you desire something and it doesn't come as quickly as you want it to, and then you make it mean something, usually something negative, right? Like I wanted something, it didn't come exactly when I wanted it to come, and now I'm going to make it mean something. And then whatever I make it mean will then influence my actions going forward. And it's not usually like a great sequence of events. So I like looked at the post, and I'm like, no one's answering. Like, why isn't anyone answering? And it's so easy then to take this to like, I suck at life. I mean, it sounds so extreme, but like, I'm invisible, no one sees me, like just all this like dramatic stuff that we do to ourselves. But I was like, you know what? Screw this. Like, F this noise, like the noises of my head that get me nowhere. The noises of all of our heads that don't get us anywhere. And I said, you know what? Like, I'm not going to take this as like a be all end all. I feel like we tell ourselves that we try so many things, and we do all these things to get the results we want, but we like really do like one or two things, and then we call it a day, because what we make the immediate results mean can feel so painful that we just want to resist feeling that pain ever again. So it's like, fine. Okay. So like no one responded to that post, no big deal. So then another inspired idea came to me, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to offer 10 free mindset makeovers, right? Which, real talk, is the same thing that I was offering in that post that no one responded to. And look, I don't know why people didn't respond to it. Probably people didn't see it because of like an algorithm or whatever. Who cares why people don't respond? It doesn't matter. It was probably so that I would feel inspired to do this video. Anyhow, can you hear my lovely dog? Anyhow, the thing is that, so I wrote this thing about like 10 free mindset makeovers. I did it on my page. I did it on on the Facebook group, and people were all over it. It was amazing. Like, and suddenly I felt so much more connected to myself, so much more anchored, so much more purposeful, I felt like I was coming home to myself. Suddenly I was really able to be of purpose. I was really able to be of support. I felt connected to myself and to what's really important to me and to my community. And what I kind of just realized, guys, is, and I feel like I hear this sometimes, and I'm like, blah, 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 whatever, but like, I don't really take it in, and I think it's worth taking it in, and it's this. Helping other people helps us. Now, that isn't the reason to help other people, but helping other people, I feel like, brings us back home to ourselves. And my theme this year is about coming home to myself and just like what that means and how that feels. And really, if you are ever feeling unanchored, if you're ever feeling disconnected from yourself, if you're ever like, what am I doing? Who am I doing anything for? Like, what is my purpose? Who am I? All that jazz. Come home to yourself. Come home to yourself. And you come home to yourself by helping other people. It sometimes doesn't feel that way, right? Like, you want to make sure that you do it in a way that feels good for you. But yeah, because in the end, you are your purpose. And really, one of the things that we inherently, I think, as humans want is to feel connected to people. And one of the easiest and fastest ways to feel connected to people is to help them in a way that feels good for you and will benefit them in some way. So think about how you can help people in like a really easy way, and don't let any initial circumstances sway you from moving forward, right? So I could have just let that one post that I asked people about like their limiting beliefs and how I can help them, and then no one responded. I could have let that stop me, but I didn't, right? I didn't. And it can be so tempting to just be like, I didn't see the results I wanted to see, so I'm going to let it stop me. But you're greater than that. Your purpose is greater than that. You're more powerful, and your purpose is more powerful than that. So yeah. Food for thought, friends. So I hope this was helpful. And yeah, until next time. Bye.